Sebastian Vettel's start at Aston Martin has been far from ideal. Vettel remains without a point after classifying 15th in Bahrain and the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Despite being what many would class as Aston Martin's number one driver, Vettel is lagging behind his teammate Lance Stroll, finishing several places behind the Canadian in both qualifying and the race. So, what exactly is going wrong for the four-time world champion? It would be too simplistic to say there is just one key element as to why Vettel is struggling at Aston Martin, especially given that he's only raced twice this season. Vettel didn't have it easy coming into the Bahrain GP following a difficult pre-season testing. The German driver only managed to accumulate 117 laps during the 3 days, as he was constantly troubled by transmission and turbo issues. So it would be expected that Aston Martin and Vettel would struggle for the first few races. But pundits have hinted about a more technical element of Vettel's drive that's caused him to drop to the back of the midfield. During Vettel's time at Ferrari, the 33-year-old's driving style was picked up on. Hungarian commentator and former racing driver Weber Gabor spotted Vettel's approach is based on high entry speed and finding the right balance with the brakes. This generates an early turn-in and early downshifts a rotation, which the rear axle has to be able to counter. But this has proved to be a problem for Vettel in the short to mid-speed corners, as the Ferrari had an extremely sensitive rear. After multiple spins and suffering with a slow pace, Vettel was unable to match his young teammate Charles Leclerc, reportedly causing his confidence to drop. But coming into Aston Martin, Vettel's rear troubles should have been alleviated, given that the team continued with Mercedes' low-rake concept from 2019 and adopted their 2020 rear end that included repositioned significant components on the rear suspension. The combination of the two should have suited Vettel perfectly, but that was before the FIA introduced several new aerodynamic regulations. Aero changes included tweaks to the floor, diffuser and brake ducts, cutting the rear downforce. Aston Martin has argued these rules have unfairly penalised the teams that run low-rake cars. Chief Executive Officer of the Aston Martin F1 team, Otmar Safnauer, said, "The changes were all made around the rear of the floor, around the tyre area, so that's where we have to start looking for more downforce. So it will be rear downforce that we're looking to improve. And with that comes better balance of being able to dial in more front wing, and the whole thing just takes off." These changes explain Vettel's discomfort with the AMR 21's handling characteristics and why he has struggled to break into the top 10 on qualifying and race day. But Safnauer insists there's more to come from their car and says they haven't given up on this year. Similarly, any problems Vettel is currently experiencing doesn't take away from the successes and performances he's put out over the past decade. Let me know your thoughts on Aston Martin's situation in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content in the future.